He's also got pajama, look.
رقد.
Sleep. That's power now.
He's sleep.
Put him to sleep, put him to sleep.
Oh my God.
Yeah, he's so good at put him to sleep.
Fade away, fade away, fade away. Make him fade away.
Crazy.
So Islam Makhachev versus Jack Della Maddalena, that has been announced. But I'll tell you what, Jack Della Maddalena is bigger. He showed that he can stop takedowns. On the feet, there's absolutely no question. Jack Della Maddalena is on another level. He's probably got the best, cleanest boxing in the UFC. It wouldn't surprise me if we see an upset here and Jack Della Maddalena is still the champion at the end of the day.
UFC 322 is just around the corner, and the former lightweight champion Islam Makhachev is all set to make his debut in the welterweight division against JDM at UFC 322. Islam is looking in great shape in his latest video where he was doing grappling practice on the beach with his friends.
Down on the floor. ايوه لا تميت سنت طلعت روح خلاص جيم اوفر الحين.
Islam is looking in perfect touch to make a grand debut and achieve his dream of becoming a two-weight division champion. However, UFC legend Michael Bisping doesn't agree with that. He weighed in on this fight between Islam Makhachev and JDM, admitting he was surprised to see Makhachev listed as such a heavy favorite. He felt the odds didn't reflect Jack's impressive unbeaten streak or his success against strong grapplers. Bisping highlighted Jack's precise boxing and effective footwork as potential game changers if the fight remains standing, and cautioned fans not to dismiss the possibility of Jack securing the upset victory.
It's an interesting fight because the crazy thing is that Islam Makhachev is quite a sizable favorite according to DraftKings, if I'm not mistaken. I'm sure I saw that online earlier this morning. And I think that's a little bit disrespectful to Jack Della Maddalena. The man's on an 18-fight winning streak. He just beat Belal Muhammad. He defended all the takedowns there. He's beaten grapplers before in the past. Yes, Islam Makhachev is incredible, you know, and he'd be another contender for pound #1, greatest of all time, whatever you want to call it. But Belal Muhammad was a perfect warm-up fight for Islam Makhachev. And with the boxing of Jack, if Islam was to stand with him, that'd be a bad idea. With Jack's boxing and the footwork that is associated with boxing, that's going to help him. That's going to be very advantageous. He knows how to defend the takedown. He knows what he's doing off his back. He can get back to his feet. So yeah, I mean, I understand why Islam is a slight favorite because he's tried and tested and the greatest lightweight fighter that the sport's ever seen. But don't be surprised if Jack Della Maddalena gets it done.
Benel Dariush also predicts that Jack Della Maddalena will defeat Islam Makhachev at UFC 322. He points out that Jack's size, speed, and youth give him key advantages and says Jack looked more complete in his recent performance against Belal Muhammad. After seeing that fight, Dariush believes Jack has a much stronger chance of overcoming Islam than before.
I'm wondering how that goes. Earlier on, I was leaning towards Islam Makhachev, and now I'm leaning towards JDM, but I don't know why.
Why are you leaning towards JDM now? Tell me, what is it?
I don't have a logical reason for it, but I've just been thinking more about it, bro. He is bigger, he's fast. It's not like he's a slow fighter. He's young. There's not a whole lot like in his game. He showed a whole different game. I've seen his old fights. If I watch just his old fights and not watch his most recent fight with Belal, I would definitely be like, okay, Makhachev has this fight. But after watching him fight with Belal, I think his chances of winning are a lot better.
The current lightweight champ, Ilia Topuria, also expressed his thoughts on the upcoming matchup between Islam Makhachev and Jack Della Maddalena at UFC 322. He made it clear that he has little interest in it. He stated that Islam's move to welterweight doesn't concern him and that the fight isn't something he's paying attention to.
How do you think Islam Makhachev will do at 170 when he fights Jack Della Maddalena?
I don't know. I don't care, to be honest. I never thought about that, so I don't know.
Ilia Topuria even shared some advice for Jack Della Maddalena for his fight with Islam Makhachev, suggesting he use straight body shots to interrupt Islam's takedown entries. He explained that consistent body work could make it harder for Islam to commit to his wrestling. Topuria also complimented Jack's striking and expressed respect for his overall fighting style.
Have any advice for Jack, who might be coming up against Islam Makhachev next?
The advice, like, he has to work the straight body shots. because that takes away the intentions of the takedown. If he works with the straight body shots, he's gonna stop his intentions of the takedowns. And he's doing a great job in striking. I like how he fights.
Meanwhile, Yoel Romero shared his thoughts on the welterweight division, viewing Jack Della Maddalena as a serious threat to Islam Makhachev. He praised Jack's combination of cardio, striking, and underrated wrestling, saying those attributes make him dangerous at 170 pounds. Romero also noted Jack's size and physicality, which he believes allow him to match up well with anyone in the division. He described the potential fight with Islam as a true 50-50 matchup that could go either way.
What about Islam Makhachev versus Jack Della Maddalena, who is a new champion in welterweight division?
It's hard because Maddalena have a very good cardio, very good puncher. Yeah. He's not bad wrestling too. It's not bad wrestling. It's a 50-50.
50-50, but Jack has not that high takedown defense. You know,
but punch it. He have a very hard punches.
And he will be more powerful than Islam, right? Or
that's exactly
because of the weight difference, right?
Yes.
Or Islam is too big for.
No. That guy Maddalena is big for 170. He's big.
Furthermore, Jack Della Maddalena expressed strong confidence in his ability to defeat Islam Makhachev. He noted that Islam rarely switches stances and tends to stay in one position, which he believes would allow him to land multiple clean shots. Jack added that even if Islam manages to take him down, he feels confident in his ability to scramble and get back to his feet.
How do you see it playing out?
I think I can take him out. I think. But Bilal really just changes stances a lot, walks forward. But I think if I can have someone that just stays in the same stance, and I don't think, but Islam's the very good striker. I think I could land a lot of shots, and I think I could take him out.
Wow.
Stuff the takedowns. If I get taken down, I believe I can get back to my feet.
On the other hand, Javier Mendez discussed Islam Makhachev's move to welterweight, emphasizing that his strength is what truly separates him from others. He explained that none of the lightweights he has trained come close to matching Islam's physical power. Because of that, Mendez believes Islam is uniquely equipped to handle the size and strength of opponents in the higher division.
It's going to be so interesting to see how his body reacts on the fight night, you know, being able to consume extra carbs, to be a little bit bigger. Like, what do you think is the biggest strength for him being able to go up to this weight class?
I think the biggest thing on our side is he's very, very strong. Very strong. So, yes, he's super, super strong. Out of all my lightweights, he is the strongest one out of all of them. I don't recall one lightweight stronger than him. Not even close. He's the strongest. So out of everybody I have, he's the guy that has the best opportunity to be able to handle the strength of the bigger guys.
Javier Mendez gave credit to Jack Della Maddalena's striking, acknowledging how dangerous and versatile it is. He explained that JDM can inflict serious damage with his punches, kicks, knees, or uppercuts. Mendez admitted he is well aware of that threat and warned that the longer the fight stays on the feet, the greater the risk becomes for anyone facing him.
How do you rate JDM's striking? And how do you feel like they match up with Islam's striking?
His striking is very, very good. It's very diverse, and he's very powerful with every strike. I mean, he can hurt you with anything. He can hurt you with a kick, a knee, left hook, right hand, right uppercut, left hook, you name it. The guy's got the total arsenal to be able to put you down. So I am definitely fully aware of what he can do. And also the longer it stands, there's always a good chance he's going to get hit, we're going to get hit. So the longer it stands, the worse it can get for somebody. At some point or another, guys like this, they're both volume kind of, precision strikers. So, we just have to make sure that he doesn't land any of the bombs, and it could.
Javier Mendez points out that Jack Della Maddalena isn't a standard striker, but one who blends combinations while switching stances during exchanges. He finds that approach impressive and says it pushes him to prepare with extra focus. For the first time in years, Mendez admits he's constantly rewatching JDM's fights, showing how much respect he has for the challenge ahead.
He's not a one-type guy. He's a 1, 2, 3, 4 type, then rechambers and comes back again, and he'll switch his style while he's punching you. He's switching. So you're going from orthodox to southpaw back to orthodox all ball striking, and that's extremely impressive. Very, very impressive. I'm extremely impressed with him, and obviously, you know, when I say I'm extremely impressed by them, that means I better work even harder, because we actually have a real opponent, and we have to make sure we get everything right, because this is the individual that can make our night a very bad night if we don't do our homework. And I'm definitely doing my homework. I'm watching him. I'm actually, for the first time in a long time, I'm actually watching the video of an opponent, even though I just watch him one time, but not this guy. I'm actually, believe it or not, I watched it 2 times already, the whole fight. You know, and I never used to, so this is how much I respect them.
On the other hand, Robert Whittaker leans toward Jack Della Maddalena in the matchup, believing Jack's toughness and determination can help him handle Islam Makhachev's wrestling pressure. He points out that Jack's striking could give him the edge if the fight stays standing, and suggests Islam might be more careful with his takedowns, knowing Jack remains a threat even from the bottom.
I'm going to go Jack. I think Jack has that X factor. I think he has the gut, the grit, the determination to fight the takedowns, to fight the ground, the takedown attacks that Islam is going to go for. And I think in a striking fight, straight up, Jack is better. I think he wins in the hands. Yeah. I think Jack's got the better game to strike over 5 rounds than Islam does as well, especially if Islam is trying to go for takedowns during the fight. I think, and this is people sleep on Jack's grappling game. They sleep on his jiu-jitsu. I don't think Islam is going to be as like gun-ho with the takedowns as everybody believes, because Jack has that level of offense off his back.
Robert Whittaker believed the fight might play out like Islam Makhachev's earlier battle with Volkanovski, but expected Jack Della Maddalena to handle those moments more effectively. He thought Jack's sharp boxing skills and longer reach could trouble Islam across 5 rounds, especially whenever Islam tried to move in close. Though he recognized Islam's strong wrestling, Whittaker felt Jack's defense and counter-striking could turn the fight in his favor if Islam made any errors.
From the things that I remember seeing in the Volk fight, their first pairing, I see the fight potentially going that way, but I think Jack's in a better position to take advantage of the things that Volk couldn't. I think he's got better hands, especially over 5 rounds with the longer arms and the reach, especially considering Islam's going to be trying to close that distance to get closer. Jack's tight fighting is so high level. Honestly, skill-wise, I think they both have their strengths. I don't think either one of them is overly superior in any which way. Like, yes, Islam would be a better wrestler, but Jack has the grappling to kind of threaten that. Not to mention, I think he's got the type boxing to make him pay for anything he doesn't pull off well.
Meanwhile, Daniel Cormier urged Islam Makhachev to sharpen his wrestling before stepping in against Jack Della Maddalena. He pointed out how well Jack had been stopping takedowns recently, and mentioned that Islam struggled to control Dustin Poirier in their fight. Cormier felt that to handle someone as durable and composed as Jack, Islam would need to tighten up his grappling and maintain steady pressure throughout the bout.
Islam Jack is going to be a great fight, especially seeing Jack defend takedowns in the way that he did. And Islam, he struggled a little to take down Dustin Poirier. He didn't take him down as easily as he had taken down other guys. So I think that for Makhachev, he needs to really lock in on getting that wrestling ready to fight a guy in Jack Della Maddalena, who showed great takedown defense. And man, this dude's got some good boxing, especially when you're in tight with him. His hands are good.
Daniel Cormier felt that Islam Makhachev's striking didn't get the recognition it deserved. He reminded fans that Islam outclassed Dustin Poirier on the feet for most of their fight before finishing him, even though many people still praised Dustin's performance. Cormier said Islam's skill often went unnoticed because he made difficult things seem easy. Looking ahead, he believed Islam's next true test would come at welterweight, where the size and power of his opponents would pose new challenges.
Islam, he's a much better striker than people give him credit for. He won all the rounds against Dustin Poirier in a fight that was pretty much all striking. Everybody's like, wait, Dustin Poirier fought him so well, but he didn't. It was literally 5 rounds to 0 and he got submitted.
It's almost like Poirier got his licks, but he got dominated.
He got beat because Islam's been so good, people judge him differently. I think there are way more interesting fights for him at 170 because of the size difference than there is at 155. Because right now, when was the last time he had to finish someone? He finished Charles for the belt.
Volk.
He fought Volk. That was close. Connors. Didn't finish him, but the second time he finished Volk.
Second time, finished Moicano.
Finished Moicano. Finished Dustin Poirier. He beats them all because they're too small.
Dustin Poirier also expressed his thoughts on this matchup and said the opening rounds decide how the fight between Islam Makhachev and Jack Della Maddalena goes. He thinks Islam controls the action if he gets an early takedown, but if Jack keeps it standing, his power and precision could change the fight. Poirier adds that Islam's striking looks unusual but remains effective since opponents stay cautious about his takedowns.
Do you think he beats Jack Della Maddalena?
I think we'll find out first, second round how much trouble he has getting him down. I think if he gets those takedowns, he's gonna get the win. If Jack can stop those takedowns, which he does have good takedown defense, I think the boxing and the size could wear on Islam and give him some problems. But his striking's, awkward and different. You have to worry so much about the takedown. You can't plant your feet and throw off those number combinations and really rip and sit on your punches because he's going to change levels. So it changes the way you fight. For me, it did. I'm speaking from experience. So we'll see how Jack approaches and how Jack executes out there. But if you're worried about takedowns, your shots are different. You're not sitting on everything and standing in front of the guy. You're trying to move and be light on your feet. I think the first 2 rounds will tell us how this fight's gonna go.
Dustin Poirier sees Islam Makhachev as a naturally strong fighter who fits well at welterweight. He says he is interested in how Islam performs against Jack Della Maddalena and thinks the early moments will set the tone. Poirier believes the way Jack handles the takedown pressure will play a big role in how the fight develops.
Speaking of Islam, what's your thoughts on him moving up to welterweight?
He's a big guy. I think he's gonna fill into that weight. He's a really big 155er. So I think his lifestyle outside of training camp is gonna be a little more comfortable, and he'll fill into that weight class no problem. He could be champion there for sure.
How do you think he does against JDM?
I think the beginning of the fight's gonna tell the story, like how well JDM does at getting up, how well JDM does at keeping Islam off of his feet, off of his legs, off of the cage. It's tough to call that because JDM's a big guy, athletic. I'm excited about that. A lot of fun fights in the future.
Similarly, Jorge Masvidal says he favors Islam Makhachev if he faces Jack Della Maddalena. He admits Jack's boxing and takedown defense looked sharp in his last fight, but feels Islam's wrestling is far superior. Masvidal thinks Jack might find success early with his striking, yet expects Islam's constant pressure and ground control to take over as the rounds go on.
I've seen Islam, bro. He's a big guy. He's sucking out a lot of weight to get to 55. I think he might start doing better at 70. Problem is though, Jack is special. We're gonna see just how special he is if he beats Islam Jack, #1 pound. Wow, that's impressive. I'm leaning towards Islam, brother.
Oh, really?
But I really think it's gonna be a tough fight for him, but a great fight, man.
Jack was able to defend takedown attempts by Bilal.
Bilal has the best cardio in MMA, but Bilal doesn't have Islam's technique. Not same technique. Not same. Very good, very aggressive. Bilal never stops. A dog. Attack. But Islam is like smart, man. Boom. Islam's level of wrestling is above. His stand-up game is improving. I don't think he could go stand-up in the beginning with Jack. Jack has way better hands, way better range, faster, stronger. But as the rounds go on later and later, he could do.
On the other hand, Navajo Sterling feels Jack Della Maddalena would have a clear advantage over Islam Makhachev in his first title defense. He feels Jack's size and strength make him difficult to handle, and Islam won't be able to use his wrestling as effectively as he did at lightweight. Sterling predicts that once Jack wins, any discussions about Islam fighting Ilia Topuria will fade away, insisting that the matchup heavily favors JDM.
You picked JDM to win. Now he's got a big challenge in his first title defense against Islam. Do you think he's got what it takes to beat an Islam Makhachev in his first defense?
People are going to say it's a wild take, but I reckon JDM smokes Islam. Shins him so bad. It's going to be so bad that the Topuria Islam thing will just be gone.
So you think Islam's wrestling won't be a threat to JDM just because he's a lot bigger?
He's a lot bigger, and when you watch JDM, you put him on the end of mid-range, he's just going to throw. It's hard to shoot in on. He's not going to be able to just abuse his size against him either. I think Islam's in for a rude awakening.
Philip Rowe also believes Jack Della Maddalena holds the advantage over Islam Makhachev, pointing out that Islam isn't naturally built for welterweight. He thinks Jack can withstand the grappling exchanges and use his strength to drain Islam's energy. Rowe expects Jack to take over as the fight continues and eventually secure a finish.
Philip Rowe, what's cracking, man?
Chilling.
Hey, now listen, you're welterweight, you've been in the game a long time. Islam moving up to 170. Is he big enough for 170?
My personal opinion, I don't think he is, but he's a champ. We'll see when he's there. You know what I'm saying? He has a fight. He's fighting the champ. That's the best 170 in the world right now, right? So we'll see.
So you don't think he has the size, but how do you think he does in the fight versus JDM?
I personally think JDM beats him. I think JDM will be able to get up if he does take him down. I don't think he'll be able to take JDM shots. I think personally he'll stop Islam.
Jeff Neal even urges Jack Della Maddalena to defend the welterweight division's reputation, saying it would look bad if Islam Makhachev moved up and immediately took over. He admits Islam has been a dominant force at lightweight, but questions whether that dominance would continue against bigger opponents at 170. Neal points out that Jack's takedown defense will play a key role and hopes he is prepared for the constant pressure Islam brings.
Who do you think wins that fight?
I don't know. We will see, because I've heard Islam strong, like especially like when he's fighting 155, people like always talk about how strong he is for the weight class. So we'll see how that translates to 170.
Yeah.
You know, I hope Jack's been working his takedown defense and in the weight room. You know what I mean? Don't embarrass us, dog. Don't let this 155er come up and take the belt, bro.
Who do you give the edge to in that fight?
Man, that's so hard, but I'm gonna give the edge to Jack, man. He needs to keep the belt at 170.
Okay.
Meanwhile, Dan Hardy reflects on the matchup and remembers praising Jack Della Maddalena's striking back when Francis Ngannou was training for his boxing debut. He points out that Jack's stand-up has only gotten sharper since then. Speaking about Islam Makhachev, Hardy feels the move to welterweight is well-timed, saying Islam is finally letting his body reach its full potential, which could make him an even greater threat.
Islam, he's moving up to 170. He's going to be fighting JDM for that title. Do you think he gets the job done, or how do you see the fight playing out?
Man, I've been high on JDM for a long time. You know, I remember doing interviews back when Ngannou was crossing over to boxing, and people were talking about who's got the best hands in MMA, and I was saying JDM at the time. I mean, his boxing's always impressed me. But at this point, I feel like Islam's moving up a weight class at the right time. You know, there are a lot of fighters that stay in a weight class for too long, and they seem to kind of stifle their physical growth. I don't think Islam can stay healthy and stay in that lightweight division for any longer, and I think right now he's allowed himself to move into a division where his body's just going to grow into it. He's going to be incredibly powerful.
Dan Hardy breaks down the fight and points out that Islam Makhachev's balanced abilities make him a tough puzzle for anyone. He views the striking as close, but thinks Islam's use of kicks gives him a small edge. Hardy predicts that as the rounds progress, Islam's grappling will start to dominate and eventually lead to a submission victory.
Islam's all-round game is so problematic for any single fighter. I see him taking it, and I can see him probably a 50-50 striking exchange, Makhachev winning with a kicking advantage, but then he's grappling and his wrestling taking over, probably winning by sub in the championship rounds.
Earlier, Dan Hardy shared a slightly different opinion as he questioned whether Islam Makhachev could handle Jack Della Maddalena at welterweight and wondered if Jack's reign would last long. He acknowledged Islam's control over the lightweight division, but felt that the jump to 170 pounds would present challenges that could limit his success compared to his previous run.
I think Della Maddalena's got a bright future. I don't know whether he's going to hold the belt or, you know, he's going to lose it to another one of the top contenders and then pick it back up again. I don't think he's going to lose it to Makhachev, though. I think Makhachev holds the lightweight belt against anybody in the world, you know, on any day, you know, including Ilia Topuria. I don't think if he moved up, he would have much success against Makhachev.
Moreover, Stephen Thompson believes a fight between Islam Makhachev and Jack Della Maddalena would be one of Islam's toughest challenges. He says the matchup would test every aspect of Islam's skill set and expects fans to be eager to watch how he handles an opponent who brings constant pressure and striking danger.
Now, I think it's a good fight. I think it's a very tough fight for Islam Makhachev coming up. A bigger guy, a guy with great takedown defense, and a guy that's fought, who just won the title from somebody very similar to himself in Bilal Muhammad, cardio for days, strong grappling background. I do believe that Islam has a better striking than than Bilal does. So I think that would be interesting. But I think it's a very tough fight for Islam, for sure.
JDM's a monster.
Yes.
So this is all we have from today's video, and hopefully you enjoyed it. Share your thoughts and predictions about this fight in the comments section, and subscribe to our channel to get more updates about this highly anticipated encounter.